welcome Shabbat with Shabbat light, with the lighting of our Shabbat candles on page 3. And I'm going to invite up the Chaskas family. To light our Shabbat candles. We'll turn now to page 24. Page 24 for the words of Shalom Aleichem as we welcome our Shabbat angels. Turn back now to page 20 for L'Chadodi, the mystical poem that imagines that on Friday evening as the sun sets that Shabbat arrives into our world, into our lives, into our homes, much in the way that a bride arrives at a wedding. And so we'll join together in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and when we reach verse 9, we'll rise and we'll turn and face the gate through which we entered as if to greet that Shabbat bride. read together the English in the middle of page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Turn to page 36 and join together in chanting Ve'ahavta.
Di barca
top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Page 42.
We'll turn now to page 46 and we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tivta uvi agite אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Continue with the remainder of our Amidah silently through page 62, either with the words on the pages of the prayer book or the words of our hearts. We take a moment amidst our joy and our celebration on this Shabbat to think of loved ones and family members, members of our community who are in need of wholeness, in need of healing. And in just a moment, in the middle of page 253, we'll offer a Misha Berach, a prayer of healing for them. So if you're thinking of someone tonight, if you have someone in your life who could use a bit of wholeness, a bit of healing, I invite you to rise at this time, and as my eyes meet yours, to share that name aloud.
Spencer-Shapiro.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're sort of in the dog days of summer, I suppose. Very, very end of July. Cantor Shapiro and I think, maybe realized recently that Rosh Hashanah is in like a month. Ready or not. Emphasis on the or not. But summer always makes me think about camp. I see my friend Les Bronte back there, right, Les? Were we not in COVID times, we would have been at camp this week for leadership night together, right? Celebrating decades of alumni at our camps. But truth be told, many people don't know this, I was a lousy camper. That's an understatement. My parents sent me to a 1-week session of summer camp, and I washed out on day 5. I was the kid crying in the office every single day, miserably homesick, and my parents actually came and picked me up on day 5 of a 7-day session, and then they sent me back the next summer to subject me to the same torture, where I was just as miserable, but they made me stick it out for the whole week. And then they tried some other, it did not go well. I then spent many years as a grown-up working at camp and falling in love with camp in totally different ways, which amused my mother to no end, that I would willingly spend the entire summer at camp. And I said, Mom, it's better because I'm getting paid like 21 cents an hour. I'm getting paid, I have a car, I can leave whenever I want, and the food's better. Very different experience. But all kidding aside, in both of those experiences, whether it was even in those moments of homesick misery, and absolutely as a teenager and as a rabbinical student and as a rabbi at camp, one of my favorite moments of camp is Birkat Hamazon. Right? Most, people don't think about this. Jews, for the most part, we say motzi, but we do our grace after meals, right? We give thanks after the meal. And it's something that most Reformed Jews know nothing of other than summer camp or maybe youth group, which is this sort of raucous, musical celebration of theoretically the food, right? And banging on the tables, although we try to tell kids not to do that anymore because it distracts from the davening or whatever, right? But it's this beautiful ruach, spirit-filled moment at camp. And I loved it through my tears as a 9-year-old, and I love it no less today. And the irony, perhaps, is that Birkat Hamazon only exists because of the Torah portion that we read this week. The Israelites, our ancestors, we're nearing the end of the Torah. They're almost going to enter the land of Israel. And they're going to enter this land flowing with milk and honey, where they will live well, they'll be satisfied, they'll want for nothing, they're not going to be stuck eating manna anymore. And as this is about to happen, Moses reminds them that when they forget how bad it was in the desert, and they eat, and they're full, and they're satisfied, that they can't forget to be thankful for all they have. That they cannot forget to be thankful for the food and for sustenance. Now, I'm going to hazard a guess that, like pretty much everyone here, I've never really gone hungry, despite the new fad of intermittent fasting and not eating breakfast till noon or whatever, right? I've never really gone hungry. And despite the fact that some of you know me well enough to know that I'm a little bit of a foodie, find me on Saturday night after Shabbat at whatever new restaurant is opening that week, I often take that food for granted. And I think about the fact, as some of you know, some of you don't, 33 years ago this year, the temple started a food pantry at our campus in Koreatown, feeding hungry folks on Sunday mornings. We have another food pantry in Santa Monica that we started 13 years ago. We now have 2 mobile food pantry programs at the Car Center on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and another distribution on Tuesday afternoons. And we fed, just through COVID, just over 300,000 meals. And what always strikes me, kind of in the pre-COVID days at least, being at our food pantries and looking into the eyes of someone who really is experiencing hunger and giving them some sustenance, giving them some food, is that without exception, they are thankful. They are appreciative. And so without even knowing it, they understand this Torah portion. Those clients at our food pantries understand the Birkat Hamazon. And so for most of us who don't say the Birkat Hamazon after every meal, this Shabbat gives us an opportunity. This Torah portion reminds us to appreciate the food we have and to be thankful for all of the blessings we have in our lives that are so, so easy to forget. Shabbat Shalom. Just a few brief announcements before we begin to conclude this evening. Next Friday night, on the 6th, you can join us at 6 on the 6th for a very special outdoor Shabbat at the Irma's campus. Bring a picnic dinner, blankets. It'll be a lovely, lovely evening. Tomorrow morning, Rabbi David's. 9 o'clock, Hevra Torah with Rabbi David's. Don't miss it. Bring your latte. Special thank you to all of our musicians tonight, to Susan, to Kevin, to Leo. Leo, I'm just going to say this. Don always says this, but there are folks here that don't know this. Can you hold up your duduk? This is like Turkish? No. Armenian. An Armenian woodwind instrument called the duduk. I've never encountered a duduk until I met Leo. I don't know how many synagogues have a duduk player for Kabbalat Shabbat. We're pretty lucky, right? Kerith, did I miss anything?
Thank you, Rabbi, for leading such a beautiful service with me. It's really wonderful to be with you.
It's terrific. It's so much better than Zoom. Man, this is better than Zoom.
Yeah, it is. And
Just saying.
It's just great to be.
I keep saying that every week, but it really is.
It is. It is. It's great to be with you all. Before we hit our concluding sections of the service, one more song, just a moment of comfort in these weeks of comfort between Tisha B'Av and the High Holy Days, as Rabbi so wisely said. The time is approaching, and also just with everything that's going on around us in the world that we're living in here in Los Angeles, and as a Jewish people in this time, I think these words of comfort are so timely, yet ageless for us. The words are Nachamu, grant comfort to my people.
So beautiful. And just to put a bow on it, because we were talking about camp, that beautiful melody written by my old camp friend, Alana Arian, who I met at camp much longer ago than I'd like to admit. But so beautiful, so perfect. We'll turn now to page 282. Page 282, the bottom of the page, and we'll rise for Aleinu.
לנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We can be seated. We turn our thoughts now to sacred moments of memory, moments of Kaddish as we recall loved ones and family members, members of our community who are no longer with us. If you're here tonight to say Kaddish for a loved one, we ask that you rise at this time. We begin by thinking of those for whom we're in a period of shloshim, those who have died during these past 30 days. As we call to mind Anat Ben Ishai, Norman Cohen, Maury Dickman, Marvin Frankel, Mike Roberts, Ida Sondheimer, Tony Barros Vega, and Gabriel Weiss. We add to their names the names of those whose yortzites occurred during this past week: Naim Afare, Paula Atler, Philip Anderson, Virgil Beeler, Jeanette Bell, Mosi Bergman, Phyllis Berkowitz, Sanford Berkeley, Betty Berman, Pauline Bernstein, Charlotte Gladys, Max Block, Harry Bodek, Ben Boyer, Matthew Coden, Myron Koritz, Hal Koski, Jeanette Di Toledo, Eli Ellison, Ralph Feinstein, Saul Furman, Helen Freeman, Joyce Friend, Edwin Frischling, Lillian Garr, Jack Galindo, Adam Gittleson, Bernard Gottlieb, Leslie Handelsman, Arthur Hartman, Aaron Horowitz, Danny Inkelis, Ruth Inkelis, Murray Iskowitz, Farouk Javaharian, Joe Kaplan, Ruth Kaplan, Albert Kamzarian, Rose Kay, Belle Kessler, Diana Klein, Esther Klein, Theodore Kraut, Harriet Lehman, Sandra Elise Lerner, Margaret Lisak, Alice Levy, Lottie Levy, Yoni Licht, Seidel Lynn, Harry Miner, Arnold Mullins, Jane Mayerson, Milton Nadich, Leonard Nades, Lori Natreba, Jerry Newberg, Sina Knock, Rita Norton, Jordan Phillips, John Reisenbach, Erwin Richker, Harry Rosenberg, Florence Roth, Belle Royce, Jenny Rubens, Ava Ruvelson, Julia Sachs, Musa Saidfar, Roy Shapira, Paul Schneider, Jean Schrager, Jeanette Schulman, Fred Schwartz, Joe Sheldon, Rose Schaumstein, Judy Ann Seagal, Joseph Sinako, Louis Sparrer, Anita Starkman, Joanne Stern, Pauline Stern, Alice Stewart, Benjamin Teitelman, Dorothy Toman, Isaac Torbati, Nan Warshaw, Bunny Wasser, Julia Swine, and Elaine Zane. If there are names to add or a name that I've mispronounced, please feel free to add it at this time. We also call to mind those to whom we are grateful but do not know, those who have fallen defending the flags of the United States of America, the state of Israel, all the innocent victims of senseless terrorism and violence all over the world, and everyone who has no one to say Kaddish for them. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294, and we rise. Itgadal v'itgadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divra chilutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chaye echon v'yom echon, v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, itbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'itroman v'itnaseh, v'itadar v'itale v'talal shemei d'kudsha berichu, ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Amiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us for Kiddush and Motzi.
Shabbat Shalom. I would actually like to invite another Cantor to come lead us in Kiddush, if he would be so kind. Cantor J, would you come lead us in Kiddush?
Incognito over there with the shades on.
He might know the words. He might have taught them to a few cantors.
You have no shame, Stan.
Do you want to use my mic? Kiddush. I mean, Kaddish. Kiddush.
It's the long one. It's the long one. It's the long one.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemaase vereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivano v'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Chaim.
What's that? No. Pulpit rust, folks. Pulpit rust.
We don't want to have to walk all the way over there.
Okay.
This is the cutest challah in the world. Look at this. Budget cuts. We couldn't get a big challah. You know, it's rough these days.
Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'tei avon.
B'tei avon, everyone. Shabbat shalom. I gave Les Bronte a shout out earlier with the leadership night, but it's his birthday today. Sweet 16. Happy birthday, Les. Many, many more. I know, it's incredible. He looks amazing. Doesn't look a day over 98. Shabbat shalom, everyone.